Hare Krishna everyone. Before I continue this episode, I really regret yesterday quoting Hari Bhakti Vilasa, 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, because this is the whole point. We are trying to study all the books of Srila Prabhupada. We're trying to study them systematically, and this is number one. It's very important to study Srila Prabhupada's books in a very systematic manner, because if you just take quotes from here, take quotes from there, it's very easy to make a mistake. So let me not divert my mind and really focus on serious study systematically without flash forwarding, So, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, summary study of Chaitanya Charitamrita by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So we're starting chapter number 3, Teachings to Sanatana Goswami. From the instructions of Lord Chaitanya to Sanatana Goswami, we can understand the science of God as it relates to God's transcendental form, His opulences, and His devotional service. Indeed, everything will be explained to Sanatana Goswami by the Lord Himself. First, Sanatana fell at the feet of the Lord and with great humility asked about his own real identity. I was born in a lower family, Sanatana said. My associations are all abominable, and I am fallen, the most wretched of mankind. I was suffering in the dark well of material enjoyment, and I never learned the actual goal of my life. Indeed, I do not even know what is beneficial for me. Although in the mundane sphere, I am what is known as a greatly learned man, I am in fact such a fool that I also think I am learned. You have accepted me as your servant, and you have delivered me from the entanglement of material life. Now, please tell me what my duty is in this liberated state." Unquote. From this plea, we can understand that liberation is not the final word in perfection. There must be activities in liberation. Sanatana clearly says, "You have saved me from the entanglement of material existence. Now, after liberation, what is my duty? Kindly explain it to me." Sanatana further inquired, "Who am I? Why are the threefold miseries always giving me trouble? And finally, please tell me how I can be relieved from this material entanglement. I do not know how to question you about advancement in spiritual life, but I beg that you kindly, mercifully, let me know everything I should know." It's interesting, he says, I don't know how to question. I remember one time I heard in the classroom Bhaktivedanta Purna Maharaj, he was saying, if you don't know what water is, how can you question about water? And I was thinking, what is he talking about? But now I can see that he was in his mood that Hare Krishna, he was in his mood. He was explaining I do not know how to question you about advancement in spiritual life. Sometimes we have questions in spiritual life and we don't know how to question them properly. We don't know how to question our questions. We don't know how to question so that we would be able to advance So Sanatana Goswami says, I beg you that you kindly, mercifully let me know everything I should know. Unquote. Oh, unquote. This is the process of accepting a spiritual master. One should approach a spiritual master, humbly submit to him, and then inquire from him about one's spiritual progress. The Lord was pleased by Sanatana's submissive behavior, and he replied, You have already been blessed by Lord Kṛṣṇa, and therefore you know everything and are free from all miseries of material existence. Yet, even though due to your Kṛṣṇa consciousness, you have naturally achieved the grace of Kṛṣṇa and are thus already conversant with everything, because you are a humble devotee, you are asking me to confirm what you have already realized. This is very nice. Oh, this is just so beautiful. This is where it goes like, wow. These are the characteristics of a true devotee. This is the characteristic of a true devotee. The true devotee have already been blessed by Kṛṣṇa. Therefore, he knows everything. Wow. Okay, this reminded me of how Jayapataka Maharaj, he would tell his servants that you're a pure devotee. And the servants would be like, a little bit proud for a second. And they're like, no, like I'm not a devotee, That's so sweet. I remember hearing it from one Mataji. These are the characteristics of a true devotee. In the Naradiya Purana, it is said that by the grace of the Lord, one who is very serious about developing Kṛṣṇa consciousness has his desire to understand Kṛṣṇa fulfilled very soon. You are a suitable person to protect the devotional service of the Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued. Therefore, it is my duty to instruct you in the science of God, and I will explain everything to you, step by step. Unquote. It is the duty of a disciple to inquire about his constitutional position when approaching a spiritual master. In conformity to that spiritual process, Sanatana has already asked, what am I and why am I suffering from the threefold miseries? The threefold miseries are called Adhyatmika, Adhibhautika, and Adhidaivika. The word Adhyatmika refers to those miseries caused by the body and mind. Sometimes the living entity suffers physically, and sometimes he is distressed mentally. Both are Adhyatmika miseries. We experience these miseries even in the womb of our mother. In general, there are many types of miseries that take advantage of the delicate human body and give us pain. Oh. Take advantage. Give us pain. Yeah, this is described in 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Miseries inflicted by other living entities are called adhibhautika. For example, bed bugs can make us miserable while we are sleeping. Cockroaches can also sometimes give us pain. And there are other living entities born on different planets who can cause us miseries. Different planets? Who can cause us misery? Living entities born on different planets who can cause us miseries. Yeah, I suppose Srila Prabhupada is referring to how do you call it? Demigods. But he says living entities, doesn't say demigods. Other living entities. As far as the Adhidevika miseries are concerned, these originate with the demigods. So Adhidevika is demigods, and Adhibhautika is bugs, cockroaches, and other living entities born on other planets. Wow, I actually always, I would always mix these two, Adhibhautika and Adhidevika, because, Bhautika, okay, Adhidevika. So demigods, because they are devotees of the Lord, they are Adhidevika. And the other living entities who are not demigods, and we all know who that is, asuras, they are Adhibhautika, they cause us misery. Okay. For instance, we sometimes suffer from severe cold weather, from thunderbolts, or from earthquakes, tornadoes, droughts, and other natural disasters. In any case, we are always suffering from one or more of these three kinds of miseries. Sanatana's inquiry was therefore an intelligent one. What is the position of the living entities? He asked. Why are they always undergoing these three kinds of miseries? Sanatana had admitted his weakness. Although he was known by the masses of people as a greatly learned man, and he actually was a highly learned Sanskrit scholar, and although he accepted this designation, he did not know what his constitutional position was, or why he was subjected to the threefold miseries. Approaching a spiritual master is not just a fashion, but is a necessity for one who is seriously conscious of the material miseries and who want to be free of them. It is the duty of such a person to approach a spiritual master. In this regard, we should note Arjuna's similar circumstances in the Bhagavad Gita. When he was perplexed by so many problems involving whether to fight or not, he accepted Lord Kṛṣṇa as his spiritual master. As with Lord Chaitanya's instructing Sanatana Goswami, the Bhagavad Gita is also a case of the supreme spiritual master instructing his disciple about the constitutional position of the living entity. In the Bhagavad Gita, we are informed that the constitutional nature of the individual entity is spirit soul. He is not matter. As spirit soul, he is part and parcel of the supreme soul, the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead. We also learn that it is the duty of the spirit soul to surrender to the supreme soul, for only then can he be happy. The last instruction of the Bhagavad Gita is that the spirit soul should surrender completely unto the supreme soul, Kṛṣṇa, and in that way realize happiness. Here also, Lord Chaitanya, answering the questions of Sanatana, repeats the same truth. Haribol! So, we should stop here today. Yes, time is up. Thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is in the description, and we shall see you next time. Hare Krishna.